Alright, hello everyone. I want to announce good times because a new version of Frames for Figma add-on has been officially released. And in this video, I would like to go over every little change and present to you what's new, what changed, what has improved. So yeah, we've got a lot of going on. As you can see, I have opened up my changelog here. You can see how many new items are here, how many items we changed, how many improvements we made, fixes, and also some things that has been depreciated. So yeah, let's just start right away. First of all, I want to say that I have two tabs open. This first tab is, as you can see, the previous older version of Frames for Figma add-on, version 1.0.0. And this is a new version, 1.1.0, right? So, okay, let's just go with the first change. So first very exciting change or addition is full frames template library. And that means that if you download the new version, I can expand this right here. What you can see is frames templates, and below are all of the frames templates as you would find them in Bricks remote library. Okay, so there's quite many of frames. I believe it's something over 300, 350 maybe. So yeah, when you click on the any category, you can see how many frames. We tried our best to organize them as best as we could. So you can see this is article cards, then we have article grids, and for example, these are block sections. But this has an additional wrapper, and I will explain to you why in a minute. So yeah, just for now, you can go over every category and you can preview all of the frames templates right here. So yeah, full frames templates library. That took quite a lot of time. So I believe it's going to help you tremendously to build perfect websites. All right, so the next very exciting feature is ultra fast wireframing and one-click mobile version thanks to site builder component. So when I scroll through the below the frames templates, you can see the helper components, which is a new additional page which we'll get into later. But under the helper components, you can find a site builder component, and it seems like it's very basic component, but it's a very powerful component that will allow you to mock up or wireframe a website, desktop or mobile very quickly. And to demonstrate, what I can do is go to the website design page. And for example, this wireframe, you will see that there are pages that has these like placeholder texts, okay, and they are just for like to show you what the page is about. Feel free to delete it. You don't need this, so I'll just click on this and click backspace. And to access the site builder component, you have two options. First, you can go to assets and write site builder. All right. But the better option, and the option that I would suggest you to do, is press a keyboard shortcut Shift+I, which will open up this component contextual menu. And right now I can write here site builder, and I'll just have to drag and drop. And the reason that I suggest you doing it this way is because it's much faster to just press Shift+I keyboard shortcut and write what you need and just paste it in, right? There's also a keyboard shortcut for the assets panel. I believe it's option 2, yeah. But I just find it easier to press Shift+I keyboard shortcut. Okay, but that's a different thing. So what I want to present to you is the site builder. First thing you should do when you paste the site builder component into your design canvas is to wrap it inside an auto layout. So we'll just do that. I'll just press Shift+A, which will create an auto layout, and we have to remove this padding. And I don't know why Figma does this, but I hate this really so much, where it automatically adds the padding on all sides and as the row gap itself. Okay, and we will rename this auto layout to desktop, right? And what I have to do now is just press enter to select the children element, and you can see we have a site builder component selected. And right now you can see we have some options. For example, I can choose the type, which is header, block, footer, whatever you want. Like basically we have all of the relevant frames categories here that make sense to be here, okay? And you also have an option to choose the mobile version, which we'll get into. But let's just quickly wireframe a simple homepage, okay? So for the header, we can choose the header type. We can choose, for example, header delta, okay? Now let's just say I am pretty satisfied with this header, and I want to create a new, like the new item for the homepage. So what I have to do is just duplicate this site builder component. I'll just press Command plus D or Control plus D if you are on Windows, and this will create a new additional site builder component. And from the drop down menu here, I can choose that I want a hero section, and I'm pretty happy with this hero alpha, but I can choose the different heroes if I would want to, okay? So I want hero alpha again. Now let's continue with something for example, social proof. We can choose social section. Okay, I don't want to waste your time with this. I'm just really, I want to demonstrate the point. Okay, and now let's go choose some content, for example. Okay, let's stick with this content section golf, even though it doesn't look that great right now. And we can go and choose, for example, call to action, or maybe we can choose some features right now, and we can finish this with a footer element, okay? So, okay. When you are done with wireframing, although this doesn't look that great, but you can see just for demonstration purposes, when you are done with wireframing the homepage and for the desktop breakpoint, how do we make a mobile version out of this? So I'll just press Command Option plus Shift on my keyboard and duplicate the section, and I will rename this to a mobile. What I have to do now is simply click Enter on my keyboard, which will select every children element, and I'll just press mobile. And just like that, we got a mobile version, right? That's pretty amazing, and it speeds up the wireframing process tremendously. Okay, let's go to the next point because we've got so many options here. So support for accent text. All right, let me open up the Token Studio plugin. And accent text, it was requested by some users. So basically you have headings, you have body text, and some users wanted like additional accent text, okay? So when we go to the typography page, style guide page, you can see we have, this is the headings typeface, we have another body text typeface, and then we have accent text typeface, okay? And for you to access the accent typeface, for example, let's just create some text element, simple text. I'll just zoom in, and to access the accent typeface, I'll just press D accent, and you can choose whatever text you would want. And as you can see, it automatically changed the typeface, and yeah, that's how simple it is. So let's go next. What do you have? Token space 0. All right, so this enables you to set 0 as a padding value, and that's important because for some frames, for example, if I open up the hero, I'll just hide this here. And some of you guys have asked me what is the best position for Token Studio plugin, and I found that the best position for Token Studio plugin is right here, okay? Because right now I can access the components contextual menu, and I still have access to design panel, and I can choose, you know, colors and etc. So let's go and put a hero section here. So as you can see, this hero section has the padding top value applied, and if you would like to remove the top padding value, some users have went here and removed this token, but when they applied the tokens to the page again, it reappeared because this token is set to at a component at master component level, and it will reappear then. So if you want to set a 0 padding, what you have to do is just search for a space 0, and as you can see right now, I can remove all paddings on all sides just like that, or only the top, bottom, what you want. Okay, so yeah, that's a space 0 token. Then we have ability to adjust hue and saturation value for every color shade. So that's very easy. To show you what I mean by that is when we search, for example, for the primary color, you can see that in the previous version, you only had the option to adjust the lightness color value. But here you can also adjust the hue and the saturation values for the color shade as well. Next, we've got tokens called D website width and M website width, referencing the full website width. Okay, so that's very easy also. So let's just search for that. So we have a D website width, and as you can see, the value is 1400. Okay, and that's the overall width of the website. When we search for the content width, you can see that it's 1280, and that means that we have website width, which is an outer wrapper, and then we have inner container, and that inner container is limited to this content width. And just to demonstrate even better this to you, when we can input this section component here. So as you can see, the value is 1400, and that's the website width. Okay, but when I click here in the inner container, you can see the value is 1280, and that's because this is the content width. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Improve file organization with the helper components parent page. Right, so we have already talked about this a little bit. So when you scroll through this, you'll see the helper components parent page, and we got new components which we'll get into. But in the previous file, we didn't have like any helper components. We only had like a basic component which had a section element. And we also had the buttons and links and icons within the frames components, right? But we didn't really like the organization of it, so we created helper components, which are like UI components, okay, which are buttons, section, and stuff that just helps you to build a website a little bit quicker. And then we have separated the frames templates, so you can find them here. Okay, so as you can see, we have new components: accordion, aspect ratio, form builder, tab, switch, tab component. Do I have tab components 2 times? Yeah. Okay. We have tooltip components, trigger component, and okay, so let's just go through them really quick. So, for example, accordion component, very easy. It's interaction ready. So when I go to, we can just go here. So when I search for accordion, I'll just input it in. Okay, create an auto layout, or let's just wait. Let's I'll just input the section here really quick, just to show you the interaction. So we got a section, okay, inner container, right, and let's give it a fixed height as well. So when we preview in another window, you'll see that once I click on the accordion component, it's interaction ready. Okay, so that's accordion component. Now we have aspect ratios. Now here I would like to give a credit to the creator of aspect ratios. We didn't create it, but we wanted to include this in our file. We needed to include this because frames templates comes with some really CSS magic, okay? And to replicate this in Figma, we had to have an option for aspect ratios. And like, what is the aspect ratio component? So let's just go over that right now. So in Figma, when you go, for example, let's just create a really simple image, and I can copy the fill layer from here. And as you can see, we have a simple image. And now when I increase the width of the image, the height does not increase, okay? That's not really basically what an image behaves in an actual website, because the image on the website, it has some dimensions. So when you often when you increase the width, the height also increases, and that's when the aspect ratio component comes in. And to show you what I mean, so for example, we have aspect ratio 1.1. We can choose whatever aspect ratio we want. So we can see, for example, let's choose the 16:9, which is a video placeholder basically. And when I increase the width, the height increases automatically. Okay, so that's really great for you. Even if you would like to create some custom components, keep the aspect ratios in mind, because you would want to use this, I would say, as often as you can. Okay, so you can choose between many aspect ratios, and as you can see, when I increase the width, the height automatically increases. Compared to the basic Figma image, when I increase the width, the height stays the same. Okay, so that's the aspect ratio component. Then we have button component, which we'll get into. Let's go to the form component. All right, what I want to say about form component, it is what it is in this version, and we already have planned a new update for the form component in the next and upcoming version. It's good as it is right now, but we found a way to make it a little bit better, but you'll have to wait for the next update. So we got a form component, and when you go to the form component page, you might grab your head and tell to yourself, like, what is going on? There's so many elements. I don't know what to choose. I don't know what to do. And let me make this really simple to you. Let's just forget about form component page. Let's go to the wireframe page with our wireframe website. If you would like to build any form, like form element, for example, input or the button or the radio buttons, what you want to do, press Shift-I and search for form field component. As you can see, we already have this pre-selected. And when I input this here, you can see we have some options. So I can choose from the field types. Okay, we have text field, text area field, radio field, checkbox field, selection. You can explore this on your own. We got many options here, and each time you select the field, notice that the options changes. Okay, so this is text field, and these are the options for the text field. When I change this, for example, to file upload, you can see the option changes. Okay, and you can play with it however you want. So for example, if I choose, let's build a really simple form. So I'll just give it an auto layout, rename this to form, and duplicate this. This will be email, and this will be phone, for example. This will be some text area field. I want the larger size, and I want the, what do I want? For example, file upload, I want modern look, okay? And I will finish this by form button. And just like that, I have a form created, and you can customize this however you want. For example, we can do something like radio field, and I can choose some options here. Okay, modern. Let's just stick with classic, and with classic, for example, I want 4 options here. Okay, you can see how easy it is to manipulate and to create your form like this. Okay, so that's about form component. Remember, you want to search for form. What did I write? From form field component, right? So that's what you want to search for. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is tab component. All right, so when we go to the tab component, oh man, we got so many things going on. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. So the tabs components, as you can see, we got quite a lot of options. And again, you might look at this, oh man, I don't know what to do. It's easy, just search for tabs component. And to demonstrate, go to back to the wireframe page, search for tabs component. And it's very easy. All you have to do is choose the number of tabs you want to do. You got exposed like many options here, and everything is interactive. So again, if I, for example, let's put this tab wrapper here. So let's go with this. So when I search for the tab component, you can see everything is interactive and it's ready for you. Also, it's very easy for you to change the tab components from horizontal layout to vertical. All right, so just like that, I have a vertical tab layout. Okay, next one. What's the next? We've got switch component. All right, switch component is very easy. Again, it's interaction ready. So you got a switch component. I'll just copy it. You can search for switch component and input this to your website. And okay, let's just do that. So switch component, I'll just put it in. And as you can see, we have interaction ready switch component. Next one, we got a tooltip component. So again, very easy. When you go to the tooltip page, you will see all of the options and the backend of the tooltip component. To access the tooltip component, what you have to do is type tooltip. Okay, and when you type tooltip, I can choose from many options. For example, this state is open. When I close this and go to the preview page, you will see that it's interaction ready too. And just to show you the options that you have within the tooltip, you can choose basically the desktop and mobile version. You can choose the position, okay? And to show you what I mean by the position, you know what? We want to show you what I mean by the position. It would be best if I would show it to you right here. So for example, top center, top right, middle left, middle right, bottom left, bottom center, and bottom right. Okay, you can change the tooltip icon to whatever you want, and you have also an options to customize the tooltip bubble. So you can choose whether you want top icon or the side icon. You can choose the tooltip title, link. Okay, when you choose the link, you have some other options for the link. So it's very customizable. That's what I want to say. And let's go to the preview. When I open up the preview, when you hover over the tooltip, you can see we have a little tooltip there. Now we have a clip content on the content, so that's why we don't see the left border there, but that's just for demonstration purposes. Okay, if I would go here, you can see everything works correctly. So next one is a trigger component. That's very easy. So basically what I want to say, every component, you can easily search for it by pressing a Shift-I and searching for the component name, okay? So the switch component, sorry, the trigger component, very easy component. When you click on this, this is the default state and this is the hover state, okay? Trigger. So then again, we have new options. We have a mood board page, and the mood board page is this one. What's the mood board page, you might ask? Mood board page is the page for you where you can put your inspiration. So for example, if you are doing some website design, when you have a website design project, and for example, a client may send you some stuff they really like. For example, we really like this gallery section here, or we really like the testimonial section from this website. What you can do on the mood board page is you can put all of the ideas together so that you have it on one page, okay? And you can reference it very easily just by clicking on the mood board page. Then we also have this new wireframe page, very self-descriptive name. Basically, it's for the wireframing, okay? And then we have a final design page where you can copy your wireframe. Okay, so you can copy your wireframes and go to the final design and put it here. And you can style it to however you like. All right, so that's about the mood board and wireframe page. Now, the next thing is that cover logo now references the project logo. What that means is that before, in the previous version, when we go to the cover page, you can see we have a frames logo. That's just a static image. But when you go to the identity page, you have an option to basically change these logos for the project. So let's just say that you are doing a project for Amazon. You want to put some Amazon logos here. And what this dynamic, and what this does is that when you change the logo here, it automatically changes the thumbnail logo here, okay? So, right, next one is we have placeholder avatar images for men, women, and unisex. So when you go to the frames templates and under the placeholders, you can see we have placeholder image alpha, video alpha, and we also have a placeholder avatar. And when you, so let's just search for it. So placeholder avatar, and you can choose whether you want man, unisex, or a woman, okay? Next, we have added option to set a favicon on the identity page. Again, very easy. When you go to the identity page, you can see the row that says favicon. That was very intelligent, a user request by by a member from community. And it's very true because we as designers, we often forgot about creating favicons or setting the favicon for the website. Okay, so that's where you want to select the favicon. You don't use this in the project itself. You may want to use it if you would want to. For example, if you would like to create a mock-up of the website. But it's a very convenient way for developers to just, you can access the logos here as well as favicon here. So that was very intelligent user request. Next, we have option to choose, so added opacity ICSS tokens. So yeah, when you open up the Token Studio plugin, and you can choose for search for opacity, you can see we have ICSS opacity tokens, 5, 10, up to 95%. And we have also created a new style guide page for opacities. Okay, so that's how it looks. Then we have, I have to speed up because this video is going to be super long. Okay, so where we are at. Here, components options for adding new rows, reverting layouts, and etc. Right, so what that means is, for example, if we go to if we go to, for example, features, you can see that right, this would be a good example. So we got, what is this? Feature card alpha. Okay, when I choose feature card alpha, we have added some options to relevant frames to where it makes sense to add. You can simply choose reverse order, and just like that, you don't have to detach the component to make structural changes, and all you have to do is just press a button and it reverse changes. Okay, and the next thing that you will see is that, for example, if I choose this which is it, feature section Charlie, for example, you'll see some options here as well. So for example, you can choose second row, third row, fourth row. Okay, you have options to basically we wanted to give you an option to change the layout without you having to detach the component, because in the version 1.0.0 what you had to do if you would want to add another row is you had to detach the component. Okay, and now you have a free hand to do whatever you want to do, but when you detach the component, you lose the options that component comes with. So for example, you don't have an option to easily change the mobile. Okay, so when you detach the intro alpha, you can see you no longer have option to make it an mobile ready. So that's about this. You'll see these options on as many section components and grids that it made sense to add. If you find any section where this is going to be needed and we forgot about adding it there, feel free to ask, feel free to request a change. We will be more than happy to edit whenever whenever it will make sense to add. Gosh, my English sucks. Okay, added option to set favicon. No, that's I already read about this. Edit page, custom components. So you have a specific place where to put your design creations. Okay, yeah. So when you go under the frames templates, when you go to the custom components, it says create your own custom components here. We just wanted to give you a page for your own custom components, so you stay organized, right? Next one, link specific ACSS tokens and settings, more specifically link weight and link decoration. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Before you didn't have an option to choose link weight and link decoration, and now when, for example, when I choose S link, you can see that we have S link color, hover color, font weight, text case. Like those options were not available, okay, in the previous version. So we have also added ACSS grid tokens. Okay, and to show you, you can search for them by typing desktop grid. And what you can see is we have from 1 to 12, we have like basically grids. And then we also have 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. And the way you want to use this is, for example, let's say you have add a section component here. And this is referencing the inner container. So for example, if I add two boxes here, and this would be some primary, and this would be complementary, you can set to all to fill container, and now they are basically set 50-50, right? But what if we want to make a grid layout of 2 to 1 or 2 to 3? So what you can do now is to search for the desktop grid, and I can choose this 1 to 3, for example, and I select max width. Okay, and as you can see, it automatically expands this one because this is set to fill container, and this is also set to fill container, but it has a maximum width. Okay, and you can play with this however you want. You can choose whatever value you want, and yeah, so that's about it. All right, next one, we have added option to set text color for headings and body text color globally. Right, so when you, for example, we can search for them in the colors. So I'll just close this. So when you scroll down, you can see right now we have headings colors. You can choose the H1, so you have an option to choose a specific color for specific heading. So I can choose a specific color for H1, specific color for H2 or for H3, or I can choose a specific color for all headings, okay, here. And I can choose the body text color here as well. So that's that. We have added dark transparencies to the style guide and CSS tokens, right? So in the previous version, you can see that we have only light transparencies, and ultra dark transparencies. And in the new version, when I go to the colors, you can see that there are also dark transparencies. Next, we have added granular control to change every aspect of the button. Yeah, so you can choose, so for example, as button, and you can choose, these are the text settings that we have added, okay? So we can choose letter spacing, font weight, typeface, text decoration, and text case that's related to the button itself, right? So those are the new changes. So text case token. So for you can search for them in the, so we got a text case, okay, we got uppercase, lowercase, capitalize, and you can also see that we have a heading specific body text, links, and accent text specific text case tokens. Okay, next one, we got letter spacing tokens as well. So that's here. You can choose heading letter spacing, body text, links, and accent text letter spacing. And we also have text decoration tokens. So we got underline and line through, and you can also choose specific like heading text decoration, body text, and accent text decoration. Next one is that we have moved or we have added the S display typeface and S body text typeface typography settings, because in the previous version we haven't like we want the users to get used to have settings under this other tab, okay? And before we had the typeface settings for headings and the body text like somewhere over here. And now we have moved them to the other tab, so you can search for them by as headings typeface, okay? And this is all under the other tab, which is basically the settings, okay? Next, we have added font weight to the typography style guide page. Yeah, so when you go to the typography style guide page, you can see that right now it also references the font weight of the, for example, these headings, right? And this is available for all of the body text, accent text, and etc. And we have added complementary colors. I already showed you a sneak peek of it, but for example, if you go to the primary color, you can see we have a complementary, right? Or when you choose accent color on the end of it, you can see we have a complementary color. And also when you go to the style guide colors page, you can see we have a complementary color here as well. All right. And we have added website content width to the width style guide page. So when you go to the width style guide page, we have a content width, which is the content width references the inner container width, okay? So that's about this. Now we can go to the what we have changed. You know what? I'm thinking about whether I need to go over the changes and improvements. I think they are pretty self-explanatory, and I feel like this video is already too long. So yeah, so I think I showed you the most important stuff, or the new stuff of the new Frames for Figma add-on release. And the other thing, you can just read it here. It's pretty self-explanatory. and I don't think that I need to explain it in the video. But in case something is not very clear to you, you can always ask. I will be online. I will be responding to every comment. So feel free to ask. Right, so those are the changes for Frames for Figma add-on new version. Feel free to tell me what you think. I think this is really exciting release, namely the site builder element. This is going to help you tremendously to mock up or the wireframe the page very, very quickly. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you. Peace.